Hello there, Kanokarab here, and we are now standing in the mayor's office. Welcome back to another Dev Diary episode for Newintown. Today we're going to be taking a look at Newintown Excavators, but there's a couple things that are in the latest version of Newintown and in Dimensions that I did forget to put in the changelogs, I believe, so we'll go over that real quick here. So here in the mayor's office, you can see it's just a slight bit different. We've got a phantom right above me with a spectral arrow, meant to kind of be a demonstration for how to open a mysterious portal beyond using the recipe that the mayor's office provides right here. Mayor's office recipe, of course, the recipe book has been updated to use the new system, so it now shows you with the cool hover event what the recipe is, and also gives you a bit of a better description. Specifically, it goes into a little more detail and says you need the Newintown Dimensions pre-release installed in addition to Newintown. We also have a nice sign here that when you click it, gives you the download link for you to click again to go to the Planet Minecraft page and get the Dimensions pre-release if you don't already have it. Mayor still sells the same stuff. We're going to go ahead and grab the excavation lease right here so we can use it once we get to the Primordial Desert. If we come out here and go over to the Between portal, the mysterious portal I should say, it has the same sign right here, and then this nice sign right here telling you it's a portal to the In-Between, and refers to the In-Between as the Nexus of Worlds. Yeah, so let's go ahead, switch to Survival, and hop on in. If you aren't already aware, the portal doesn't work if you're not in survival mode. That is intentional, in case like a server operator or someone wants to alter the structure of the portal. As long as the water stays there, it still works, but that way they can do so without constantly being teleported back and forth. It also makes it easier if the portal breaks for some reason to repair it. So let's go ahead and find a portal here, and I'll kind of demonstrate one way to do that, I suppose. Here we go. That's a really cool location for a portal. I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and fly here into the portal, and we don't want to rely on randomness. We want to go to the Primordial Desert. So I'm going to go ahead and tag at E, tag equals knit portal to select this particular portal here. Distance of 3 should be more than enough. And we're going to add knit link Primordial Desert. And I think we just have send command feedback off because we were holding the book. So if we hop in here, it should take us to the Primordial Desert. Fantastic. Ooh, right outside a volcano. Very cool. All right, let's see. Where do we want to start our mine? I'm thinking right over here. So we'll go ahead and click that. And here is our nice lift. So for the record, all of what you're about to see here is currently available on Planet Minecraft. Everything that was previously being worked on as the beta release for Dimensions, that was available only for beta testers in the Discord, up to now currently, and then probably a few updates for stability after that. All of that is already available for you on Planet Minecraft. There will still be beta tests for the beta testers to perform as more content gets added, as the snapshots for 1.18 start to come out and introduce new features. Then the beta testers will get to test all of that first, and then we will push hopefully a full update by the time 1.18 comes out, if not sooner. With that said, let's go ahead and hop into this nice little lift here. You'll see the button does work instantaneously, just like the Strider dock now does in the base Newintown in the counteroffensive. With a nice little sound effect to let you know, hey, you have correctly been transported. And we end up down here in this nice little mine shaft here. Deep slate and copper ingots are going to be your main resources for excavators. It is smelted deep slate, not cobbled deep slate. So the normal deep slate that you would find in the world, and then yes, copper ingots. So very expensive because you do have to smelt them both if you are finding the copper. But then we've got our mine foreman here who can turn 64 deep slate and copper ingots into a mining drill rig, which is required for every recipe here. We also have the recipe book right here. We'll go ahead and grab that. Hey there! If you're enjoying this video, please remember to leave a like and share with your friends, and to subscribe to keep an eye on when new videos come out. If you want to get involved with the community, you can join our Discord server, where you can also learn how to get involved with the New in Town Dimensions beta release for 1.17, or you can follow me on Twitter. With all that, thank you so much for watching, and back to the show. And if we take a look in here, this of course also does now use the new system for New in Town recipe books. So it's got our index here. We go to our introduction and we see a demonstration of how that works. So every recipe is going to require a little bit of extra copper, I would say. Some of them are going to require deep slate, some of them, all of that's handled by the mining drill rig that you craft with the mine foreman. But every recipe is also going to require stripped jungle logs, which is not a collectible resource here. You will have to locate an oasis and start to gather that material and start growing your stripped jungle logs. And there's some ways to improve that efficiency, which we'll get to in a little bit, potentially. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the structures we can make. So mine shaft, this is a straight unidirectional shaft with one shaft planter at the end, basically a road, like with the aesthetics. It is a large plot, it is a large site, so it is 30 blocks long, and is a great way to expand outwardly. We've got our Slate Crusher here. This is going to be what generates your deep slate once per day. Does require a good amount of iron, and it's only, of course, going to produce 12 deep slate per day, but still a useful structure to have constructed. Copper drill is going to be the one that generates your copper once per day. It will only generate 12, of course, so you are putting in a little more than you will be getting out of it, but it'll start to pay for itself over time, of course. It's going to use some iron pickaxes and some iron blocks, and again, as well as the strip jungle logs. Research station is going to be really important. We'll get to why in a little bit. It's not terribly expensive, but the lecterns, of course, does require books and stuff, so you may need to make some trips to the overworld for that material. Phosphoroscope is kind of like a night vision giver. We'll go into a little more details about the functionality of these later, but it does require amethysts, and currently there are no naturally generating amethysts in the primordial desert, so you may have to make a trip to the overworld or to the buried ocean if you want to gather that. Relaxation Rig is basically just your home for this dimension. Deep Forge, that's going to be a decent furnace smeltery setup type thing. It's not as good as the Pure Hearth, of course, in the counteroffensive, but it is something. Diamond Drill is going to be similar to your copper drill. It's actually going to generate a couple diamonds for you every day, instead of generating copper ingots. Not as much, obviously, not 12 diamonds per day, so it's not quite as efficient as the magical farm in the counteroffensive, but it is more efficient than the mining drill in the overworld. Gemologist is going to sell you some unique gems that have powerful effects if you're holding them. It's going to require some decent materials, diamonds, emeralds, amethyst, and quartz as well. Vertical lift is going to be your way to continue building your mine downwards. It'll be another lift just like the one we're standing in here that takes you further down into the world. And of course the primordial desert does stretch down to minus 128 now, so there's lots of world to explore. And then you got your blink mining rig that you can fill with whatever you want. So let's go ahead and start building here. Let's do a straight shaft first. Actually, we'll do that a little bit later. Advancement grant at S only, knit X, recipes, and let's do the copper drill. And then you'll see we got another advancement right here, Lost Civilization, uncover a buried artifact in the buried ocean. So if we come across, oh, hello, might grab one of these. If we come across over the other side of the copper drill, you'll see right over here, instead of a site planner, or a shaft planner, we've got this structure here, this sandstone structure filled with cobwebs and concrete powder and skeletons, which we'll go ahead and kill right now. Come on. So this is what's called a buried artifact. You will uncover a buried artifact the first 3 structures you build in excavators, unless there wouldn't be room for it. It's always going to generate on the opposite side of where you're building. Generally shouldn't be an issue for your first 3 structures, but if you have, some shafts or empty rigs that don't apply, or don't increment, then obviously you could end up locking yourself in. So you will always be guaranteed 3 for the first 3 structures that have room to build one of these. And we'll get into how important they are shortly here, but you'll notice the skeletons dropped not just bones, but also these blunt artifacts, a common artifact for research purposes. So again, we'll get back to that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and start building some other structures here. I'm thinking we'll do a Slate Crusher right here. There we go. And we didn't get an advancement this time, but over here we do have another one of these. It is the same kind. There are 4 different kinds that can show up, and they can repeat. So you're not always going to get the one that you might want. We'll get into, again, why you might want one over another shortly here. This is the Slate Crusher, not terribly interesting on its own. Does have a Slate Crusher expert right here who can sell you cobbled deep slate or buy your normal deep slate, as well as turn tough or obsidian into deep slate if you don't want to go mining for it. If we come on over here, we didn't actually really look at the copper miner very much. He does sell you some copper ore, which can be really useful because then you can, of course, fortune it. Can sell you a deep slate copper ore if for whatever reason you want to collect it, and then he can exchange amethysts for copper, as well as buy your copper ingots for gold. Hello. Both of those do deposit right here, of course, into these hoppers. Let's build right here, I think, and we'll build a research station next. There we go. Ooh, got some gravel coming down. So let's go take a look. Oh, so we got a little bit unlucky. We got all 3 of the same artifact here. A bit disappointing, but that's okay. And take care of these guys. And it looks like one of them dropped a shiny artifact instead of a blunt artifact, so that's really nice. We're going to go ahead and just make a whole bunch of those because they are convenient to have. And let's go take a look at the research station here. So the research station is this nice little pedestal, and of course it's got this display here. It's got research power, and right now we have 0 research power. If we take a look at this book over here, it tells us how to use the research station. So we can toss items onto the platform to try to work towards 100% research progress, and that will allow us to uncover the secret uses of the mysterious sites that we found while we were crafting our mine shafts. So this is how much research power each item gives us. Diamonds produce 1, emeralds 2, netherite scrap 5, but the blunt and shiny artifacts are going to be the main way to go, given 10 and 20 respectively. And then the book also tells you what kind of artifacts are understood to have once been found in this area and may be uncovered with research. Once again, all of these artifacts, there are 4 different kinds, and you're not guaranteed them in any particular order, and they can repeat themselves. So you may not get the ones that you want every time, but you can start multiple mines. The excavation lease is not a limited trade, so if you want to start another mine somewhere far off away and try to get some different ones, you can. With that said, none of them are ultimately necessary for any kind of progression or completionist. You don't have to get all 4 for any kind of advancement or anything, but some of them do have more power or use than others. They're just not necessary. So let's take a look at what some of them are. We've got a cactus farm, a place to grow cacti and get some drinkable juices with high nutritional value. We've got a Glassblower. I believe that's all 3 of what we got here, and we'll get into how cool they are shortly. Oasis shrines is a good way to get lush materials. So items and blocks you would normally get from the lush caves, you can buy at the Oasis shrine. It's also a convenient way to get some strip jungle logs if you feel like it, but again, it's not required for the progression, and you're not going to be losing out by not having it. And then the obsidian smelter doesn't generate obsidian, but the smelter here can sell you obsidian. So yeah, let's go ahead and try using the research station. So if we go ahead and toss that on here, then our research power does increase up to 20. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a blunt artifact on here just for demonstration purposes. It puts us to 30 and then to 50. You do have to do them one at a time. If you do multiple, it either won't read them or it won't. Oh, it will. Okay, cool. Well, you got to be careful. Regardless, if we drop another shiny artifact on here, you'll notice it's not going to research it because shiny artifacts are worth 20 research power. So if it did research it, then that would be a surplus. It would overuse it and would not, you'd be losing out. Oops, did not mean to do that. There we go. You would be losing out. So you do need to then have perfect 100% research power. You cannot go over. So in this case, we do have to drop another blunt artifact. And when we do, then we get a nice little animation there to let us know that we did successfully research one of our artifacts. So let's go take a look and see which one got its power restored. Looks like this one right over here. So now, if we walk on over here, instead of the terrible ruin and collapsed ceiling, we have this nice glass blowing station. And there should be, a glassblower villager right here who can buy and sell glass, give us a chest of glasses, just like the chest of wools that are sold in Seafarers, if you're familiar with that. And then he can also sell us tinted glass without us having to use amethyst shards. A bit of a loss from 12 down to 10, but a convenience if you don't want to use amethyst shards for it. And then I think the glassblower just looks kind of cool with all the campfires and furnaces and stuff. Unfortunately, like I said, we did get 3 glassblowers, so there's not a whole lot of use in researching anymore. But when you do research, it does only restore one of the artifacts you've uncovered, and it'll pick a random one. It won't go in any order. So you can use this up to 3 times basically to try to restore the artifacts. And I may look into adding more artifacts in the future, and at which point, of course, there would be looking into adding more artifacts, or adding into more ways to get artifacts, I should say. So more than just the 3 that you are restricted to right now. With that said, let's go ahead and move on and start building some other structures here. I think we'll build right on over here. And let's see, what do we want to do next? Let's do the forge. So the deep forge is not, like I said, especially effective. We've got the input right up here, and then some hopper minecarts sitting in here. Yep, there they are. Hopper minecarts sitting here that will take all the items down into the hoppers down below, and then the furnaces even further. Interestingly, it looks like they may not quite be taken, which is weird. Did they get misaligned? Could be because of the, well, no, because this doesn't rotate. All right, I'll have to look into why that's not working quite right. But regardless, the speed of putting it into the furnace is the main reason, or the hoppers, I suppose, is the main reason why one would be interested in this. You still have to provide fuel, and it does put all the output down into this chest here. So it is nice-ish. I might look into making this a little bit better and obviously making it work in the future. But I didn't want to overshadow the power of the Pure Hearth in the counteroffensive in the Netherkeep, but I do still want some kind of nice furnace array to have here. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a small space, so I can't have like a proper redstone furnace array, because it just wouldn't, it would look very bad. Maybe for a large site. I could make a large site. That's a thought. Anyway, moving on. Let's build a gemologist next, sure. And as we do so, we do get a nice little message there and an advancement, piglins in cages. So by building our 5th structure, we have discovered the Illagers Cavern of Imprisoned Experiments. I believe I heard the lightning that way, so let's try to remember that after we check out the gemologist. So he's got this nice big amethyst hanging here. No budding amethyst, but he does sell some very unique gems here. So for quite a lot of gold, he can sell us an amethyst, a diamond, or an emerald. But not just any amethyst or diamond or emerald. The amethyst is a protection stone, so when you hold it, it increases your luck and your knockback resistance. The diamond, when you hold it, makes you faster, increases your speed, and increases your attack speed. And then the steel heart, the emerald here, increases your armor and resistance, I do believe. So very useful items to have kind of as passive buffs. You do have to be holding them, of course, so it has to be in your main hand or your offhand, but still very powerful and effective gems to have around if you have the item space for it. Let's go ahead and fly on over here. You'll see this nice little cave down here. It's always going to generate at, let's see, always going to be at about, looks like between Y30 and Y20, I would say. So let's start from where we might have broken in if we're mining straight in here. You do have to mine to it, of course, but that's what the glowing mobs are for, and the lightning to kind of point you on track. So say we broke in right here, and we get into this nice cave. We've got a cobbled deep slate floor, deep slate walls. We got lots of dripstone and candles around, soul torches to light things up, and then we have these zombified piglins in this cage here. Now, of course, the primordial desert piglins that live here do not zombify. This is considered a safe home dimension for them, so why would they be zombies? That's for you to try and find out as you continue to explore and uncover the lore of excavators. They do have a chest in here. The piglin kind of prison chests don't have amazing loot, but they can have books and quills, which is kind of cool. Let's come on out over here and start to explore. So of course this is an Illager cave, the Illagers being the antagonists of the Dimension Saga. So we've got some cave guards here that we can kill and get blunt artifacts, copper, and deep slate to kind of help you continue to expand your mine. If we come on over here, we can get a couple more cave guards. There's another, I believe, piglin prison chest over here with some, sometimes can have some decent loot, bottles of enchanting or gold, but of course only one of each. We've got lightning rods here beside the piglin cages, kind of alluding to perhaps why they're zombies. Obviously they are underground, so the Illagers are obviously up to a little bit more than just using lightning. We've got an enchanting table over here with a small bookshelf set up and a proper loot chest here. Can have moss blocks, deep slate, copper, useful for building your mine shafts, bottles of enchanting, emeralds, and then some blunt or shiny artifacts, just like the Illagers drop. If we come on down here, we've got another cave stretching over here. We've got the cave leader who has wandered away from his little area over there. This is a proper loot chest again, and this serves as the mini boss for this little structure here, which we'll check out in a second. If we come out over here, we've got a standard loot chest once again out here, lightning rod beside this piglin cage, and then a boss chest over here. So it has a respawn anchor, wither rose, blaze rod, bottles of enchanting, some really good enchanted books, other than the curses, of course, and there can sometimes be like wither skulls in here as well. Let's go take a look at the Illusioner, who serves as, like I said, as the mini boss for this structure. We'll go ahead and fight him real quick, obviously in creative mode. And you'll see here he has Totem of Undying. Just the one, of course, so he's not terribly difficult to kill after that. But he can drop, again, deep slate and copper, but also shiny artifacts instead of just the blunt artifacts that the cave guards are more likely to drop. And then if we come up here, you want to be careful when you're fighting the Illusioner, especially if he does stay up here, because respawn anchors do not work in the Primordial Desert. Even though there is a respawn anchor here, trying to use it will not end in your favor. So you want to be very careful. There's a respawn anchor in here as well, of course, that you cannot use. Beds do work in the Primordial Desert. They don't skip the time of day, just due to a quirk of Minecraft. But you can sleep in them and you can set your respawn point in them. So if respawn anchors don't work here, lightning rods underground, all of these things might have something to do with why there are zombified piglins in cages here. What are the Illagers up to? Let's go ahead and return to the shaft. Return to the mine, I should say, and continue building some cool stuff. Let's pop on over. Let's put a structure right here next, I think. So we've got the Glassblower artifact right there. If we go ahead and build another structure right here, let's do this, the Phosphoroscope. You'll see it does line up perfectly with the artifact that we've already uncovered here. So you can't build in this direction because there's something already here, but you can connect to it and integrate it with your mine. The Phosphoroscope here, and that lightning, of course, was just restocking the, the Piglin Cave, or Piglin Cavern, with more Illagers for us to fight. But yes, the Phosphoroscope, if we go ahead and switch to survival mode real quick, it's got this lever here, and while it is on, we have night vision. So you'll see here. So this can be very useful if you're mining by hand as you explore the caves and area around your mine shafts that's going on here. It is a range of, I believe, 100 blocks. It'll affect all players in survival, so it may be beneficial to have multiple of these, especially if you are using vertical lifts to explore even deeper down in the primordial desert. Let's go ahead and build, let's go over here, I think. Let's see, what do we want to build next? We'll build the home here, the Relaxation Rig. It's nothing too fancy. It's nice and guarded, walled in with some doors. We've got a little bit of storage here. Nothing special in it. Some gold ore and candles. A bed, like I said, which does work for setting your respawn point. But if it were nighttime, it would not skip to daytime. Just, again, because Minecraft is weird. Got some furnaces going on here. Nothing too fancy about them. Stone cutter and workbench. And, of course, this nice rug right here. Ooh, come here. There we go. And windows. It tries to be a little bit homey, but obviously it is underground, so just kind of somewhere to relax in. Let's go ahead and build a... Oh, we're nearly done. Let's try and build a shaft. I believe it shouldn't... Oh, we didn't have anything here. Cool. Well, we had some room, apparently, to build a horizontal shaft. Once again, this is 30 blocks, so very useful to... kind of expand horizontally. And if you want to expand vertically, then of course you can use the vertical shaft right here, the lift. Oh, we're missing one. I wonder what we didn't build yet. Oh, the diamond drill, duh. So this is a vertical lift, of course. This is the top bit, and you can see here we've got these nice chains. If you hop in here, works exactly the same as your initial lift. Button works instantaneously and takes you further down. And then you have shaft planners in every direction except for the direction that you built in, just kind of for safety purposes. Doesn't really make a difference, and I might even actually go ahead and re-implement that so that you can build in that direction, since it doesn't really matter. There is no vertical shaft that goes back up, and of course there is something here, so it's not like you can build another shaft and end up breaking in right here. Alright, and then for our last structure, we'll go ahead and build our diamond drill. Ooh. So we've got two advancements here. Right now there are only 9 functional structures, so that means we do already have the advancement for completionist. The completionist advancement, I should say, the tapping for building every functional shaft for your mine. We also got the cruel arena, so we've discovered the Illagers Arena, where undead experiments duel mercilessly. We'll go take a look at it in a second. We've got the diamond drill here, which, like the copper drill, has bits of diamond embedded in it. There is a diamond miner here who can sell us some diamonds for nothing, you know, even with a lots of taxes from the overworld. 49 for 3 is not a great exchange rate, and 4 for 32 is definitely not. If you want deep slate diamond ore, this is the way to get it, should you want it for decorative purposes or something, or just want to fortune it, I suppose. But this does also produce 3 diamonds once per day into this hopper right here. Alright, with that said, let's go ahead and head up to the surface and find the Illagers Arena. Looks like it's right over there. So the Ilager Arena, despite being on the surface, does not appear until you have built your 9th structure, so you can't raid it too early. So let's head over that way, but we're probably going to get a little bit prepared before we actually explore it, because I'd like to explore it in survival and show you everything cool that it's got to offer. Obviously, it does have these glowing mobs down here, and the glowing mobs in the cave down there are going to be a little annoying, but that's okay. Let me go ahead and grab some bookshelves and a enchanting table, and we're going to get ourselves all kinds of armored up for this adventure here. Let's grab some netherite armor. Yeah. I'm gonna grab myself a potion of fire resistance and just a couple of golden apples. I think 10 is very reasonable, especially if you've got an end city with a golden apple tree. Let's go ahead and enchant these guys. We're not really gonna need looting. Protection 4, pretty decent. let's see. I'd like some fire protection. I don't know that we're gonna get it here though. Just do protection 3, I suppose. Oh, thorn's not bad. Fire protection 3, I think I'd prefer a little bit more. Granted, we are gonna have fire resistance, so it's not the end of the world. Sure. Okay, smite 4. We're not fighting undead things, but that's okay. So go ahead. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, since I'm doing that anyway, might as well re-enchant these. Unbreaking, sure. And sure. That's fine. Alright, go ahead and put this on. Let's see, I'll get some normal food too. How's that? We'll get some pork chops. Don't think I'm too hungry. Okay, so Illager Arena. Let's hop in there after we kill this hoglin here. Get out of here. Nope. Bad hoglin. So these Illagers, hopefully they don't kill me. I find that they are a little bit tricky sometimes. I'm gonna even set my spawn point real quick. They hit a little harder than they really ought to. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. So just like the other ones, the cave guards, these will drop blunt artifacts, very rarely shiny artifacts, deep slate, and copper. Get out of here. If we come on down here, we can start exploring the Ilager Arena. Eat this pork chop real quick. We've got some decent loot. Can be a little bit better than the Illager Cave. We've got some sandstone mixed in here, another brick, because that's what this is made of. Wither roses can pop in a little more frequently here, bottles of enchanting. If we continue on down, we'll meet more arena warriors. Oh dear, there we go. Put that up here. More loot chests, you can sometimes get some enchanted books here. And we'll continue even further on down. Ooh, we got a hoglin. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. We're in danger. Oh gosh. I mean, thankfully we have a knockback. Oh gosh. Okay, okay. And die, please. Thank you. Whew, that was dangerous. Not too bad, thankfully. We had the high ground, but still. Alright, and then we've got this chest here. Ooh, very lucky. So this is the boss chest, the loot chest for this particular structure. Got obviously lots of blaze rods, good amount of bottles of enchanting. 2 wither skulls is really good. Normally you'd only get 1. We do get a totem of undying, which is really good. That's very rare. Lots of copper blocks instead of just copper ingots, and all kinds of enchanted books. They're all cursed, but they do have quite a few different options for good enchantments as well. Let's go ahead and wear this totem of undying, or put it on rather. And we'll go ahead and explore down here. So we're in the pit of the arena. I'm gonna go ahead and set the time today, just so there are no situations going on as we do this. So we've got these zoglins in cages, and as you look around, we've got the zombified piglins in cages as well. So this is definitely the culmination of the Illagers' experiments here. They've got all of these zombified piglins for some reason in their homeworld where they shouldn't be zombies, and they're trying to do something here. We've got these nice images and shapes here in the ground, and you might be able to tell this is obviously an Illager face, but this is meant to sort of be kind of a wither type shape, and a wither face over here. So kind of some more hints and small pieces of lore to kind of guide you and suggest what the Illagers might be doing here. And then of course we've got the wither rose standing right here, and if we break it, ooh, there we go. So this is the boss fight for Excavators. Very, very different from the Tyrant boss fights in normal Newintown. Let's go ahead and take care of these undead experiments here. Oh gosh. So Rexiel the Soulless, while his boss bar is yellow, he is invulnerable. Oh gosh. He's got 3 different spells to cast at us. This one right here is going to try to home in on us and eventually drop some lava. But when his boss bar turns white, that means he is vulnerable again, and we can start to fight him. He's going to try to protect himself with some lava when that happens, and then he will return to invulnerability as he casts some other spells, like summoning the Hoglins. The Hoglins, for some reason, don't always attack you. I can't figure out exactly why. I've tried all kinds of different things. I'll probably just switch them to be piglins or something. Oh gosh, okay. So you can kind of cheese the lava. It's not super duper deadly. If it does get too close to you, it will instantly turn to lava, but it is pretty slow, and like I said, you can cheese it pretty well. Let's go ahead and try to get some more hits in here before he becomes invulnerable again. We gotta be careful. Ooh, so now he's down to phase 2. We've lowered him to half health. Oh gosh, so his spells are going to get a little faster, a little more dangerous. We've got more undead experiments here trying to kill us. Oh gosh. The zombified piglins are, of course, going to get mad at us, but they're all in cages, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Oh gosh. He's got double spells right here. He's going to start chasing us with his netherite axe. The undead experiments are pretty weak. You can one-shot them. Oh gosh. Okay, we're going to get fire resistance here. And of course, the field is going to get a little bit covered in lava, which can help us, but is going to slow us down. Oh gosh, and he is going to try and fight us. But he does protect himself when he becomes invulnerable with that pool of lava. As he continues to chase us around, we're going to get more spells cast in here, of course. Oh gosh, we got to keep on the move, keep running. And that's going to be that spell. Oh, but he's vulnerable now. We've got to swim to him through the lava. Oh, come on, corner him. Oh, we're doing great. Obviously, you can see he's got that Totem of Undying, so we're going to have to fight him twice here. Okay. We're doing good. Oh, gosh. No. Okay. And, come on. Nope. Yes. Okay. So now, he's used his Totem of Undying. He's gone back up to just above half health, and obviously, he's now become a zombified villager. A little bit faster, a little bit stronger, but we can take him. Come on, especially if he's gonna... Oh, nope. Now his boss bar is red, of course, so this is kind of to show you he's soulless because he's given up his soul to become a zombie in his pursuit for immortality. Okay. Let's go. Oh, gosh. Let's have a golden apple here as we step back. He's vulnerable now, but we gotta play our cards right. We gotta be safe. Oh, come on. Nope. Okay. Okay, come on. Get vulnerable again. Yes. He's going to try to protect himself again with that lava. Oh, gosh. All right. Another zombified piglin here. Come on. And another spell. Let's go ahead and have another golden apple just to be safe. Oh, of course he gets vulnerable right then. Can we try and get a couple in here? A couple hits? Okay. Come on. You're almost there. Yes. So that gives us the advancement for beating him the cost of a soul. Defeat Rexiel the Soulless at the Ilager Arena. And because of all the lava around here, instead of dropping the loot, he does actually just straight up give it to you. So you get additional Totem of Undying, some netherite scrap you can sometimes get, bottles of enchanting. So not a whole bunch of stuff. The Totem of Undying is obviously the best thing about it. But that is the Rexiel boss fight. So meant to be very different from a Tyrant boss fight. It's got 2 stages, obviously, immobile and mobile. He's got all kinds of different spells. But unlike the Tyrant, you can't just run in and go straight at him. The key to this fight is survival instead of trying to rush him, because you can't, because he's invulnerable half the time. Ooh, we got some gold ingot out of that. Cool. And that basically is the end of Excavators. That is the culmination. There will, of course, be more excavator structures to build for your mineshaft in the future, but right now, that is where we sit. This is what we have available to us. Now, of course, you climb back out of the arena triumphant and successful. Let's take a look at the advancement tree here. So you've got your startling foe right here for building your mysterious portal or discovering it. In the Primordial Desert for locating the Primordial Desert, starting your excavators, and then going through that progress. Like I said, right now there are only 9 structures, but there will be more, so the tapping will be your completionist advancement for building all of the functional structures for your mine. Cost of a soul, obviously for beating Rexiel, is going to be very important for the end of the Dimension Saga. This and the boss fight for Seafarers, which we'll get to in the dev diary after the next one. You'll need to fight both those bosses before you can fight the third boss in the Tempest when that gets implemented. So I'll let you guys think on the lore implications for that moving forward. If you're at all familiar with the lore books that you can already find in the in-between, then you might already have a guess as to what's going on, who that third boss might be, and how that might work. You already, of course, would then have an idea of what the Illagers are trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish here in the Primordial Desert. So with that said, this has been a Dev Diary episode telling you what I've been working on for Excavators, and more importantly, what is available right now. You can play all of this on your own as it stands by downloading the Dimensions expansion pre-release that's available on Planet Minecraft right now. I do hope that you enjoyed this video, this Dev Diary. If you did, please remember to leave a like and share with your friends, and of course subscribe to keep an eye on when new videos come out. We've got some more Dev Diaries going on in the future for exploring the buried ocean, and then seafarers, all the progress and stuff that you can do there, and then hopefully some more progress on the Tempest in the future as I start to build the structures that will generate there naturally, and start working on Tempest's player built structures that's like Excavators and Seafarers and such. I'll also be doing some speed running here of New in Town shortly, and I think that'll be really, really cool to check out. So definitely keep an eye on the channel as New in Town continues to grow. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.